All right, we're going to do something pretty ambitious here. We're going to take more than 2 decades of professional trading experience, all the wins, all the painful losses, and all the lessons learned the hard way, and boil it all down into a single actionable checklist. This is basically a rule book built from 26 years in the trenches. And let's get one thing straight right from the jump. This isn't some list of theories I found online. This is advice forged in the fire of the live market with real money on the line. It's all about discipline, not some get-rich-quick fantasy. So here's our game plan. We'll start with the absolute foundation, which is all about simplifying everything. Then we'll move into the apprenticeship, putting in the work. After that, we dive into the psychological mind game, and then the systems that honestly protect you from yourself. And finally, we'll talk about that last step to true mastery. Okay, part 1, the foundation. Look, a long-lasting trading career has to be built on simple, solid ground. This is exactly where most people go wrong right from day one. This slide really says it all. On the left, you've got the noise. This is where most traders live, drowning in indicators, news, Fed policy, chasing every new thing. But on the right, that's the edge. The veteran's secret isn't knowing everything. It's knowing one simple, repeatable edge and just executing it over and over and over again. So this brings us to the very first rule of simplification: master one asset. Seriously, every single stock or future has its own personality, its own habits. By focusing on just one, you learn its quirks, its rhythm. It forces you to focus deeply and stops you from chasing random noise. You can literally build an entire career on just 3 or 4 instruments that you know inside and out. All right, on to the second phase, the apprenticeship. Now, this is the unglamorous part. This is the non-negotiable hard work of earning your stripes through practice long before you even think about swinging for the fences. This analogy for screen time is just perfect. Think about it. The first time you see a movie, you get the plot. The 10th time, you notice details in the background. But after watching it 2,000 times, you'd know every line, every mistake, every subtle hint. That's the level of mastery you need with your asset. You just have to put in the hours until its patterns become second nature. Now, while you're putting in all that screen time, there is one rule that absolutely governs your survival: position sizing. This is so critical. It is almost never the trade idea that bankrupts a trader. It's the size of the bet. Proper sizing is your firewall between a bad day and a completely blown up account. So how do you find that right size for you? Well, here's a super simple practical test. Put on a position. Now check in with yourself. Do you feel that pit in your stomach? Are you glued to the P&L screen? If the answer is yes, your size is too big. Cut it down and keep cutting it down until that emotional attachment is just gone. That's the only way you can focus on executing your plan instead of just focusing on the money. Let's move to our third section, the mind game. Okay, so once you have your simple edge and your sizing is right, the battle is no longer with the market. The battle shifts to right between your ears. It's all about your process. Your goal for the day is not to make money. I know, that sounds crazy. Your real goal is to make one good trade, then another one. A series of good trades is what eventually leads to a win. And here's the crucial tip: never ever look at your P&L during the day. That number, whether it's green or red, is a drug. It will trigger an emotional decision and make you abandon your plan.
A huge part of the mind game is understanding loss, because not all losses are created equal. An acceptable loss, that's just the cost of doing business. It's when you followed your plan perfectly on a great setup and it just didn't work out. It happens. But an unacceptable loss, that's emotional. That's revenge trading, FOMO, breaking your own rules. Those are self-inflicted wounds, and you have to eliminate them.
Here's a great way to reframe it in your mind. An acceptable loss isn't a failure. It's the cost of goods sold, right? You wouldn't get angry about having to buy gas to drive to your job. It's the same thing. These small, planned losses are simply the price you pay for the opportunity to catch those big winners.
Okay, so if the mind game is the what, then the system is the how. Section 4 is all about the concrete tools and hard rules that professionals use to force discipline and turn trading into a real structured business.
This right here is your tool for managing risk, a ranking system. You see, not every setup is an A+ opportunity. A tier 1 trade, that's your bread and butter. The 85% probability setup where you deploy maximum but still appropriate risk. A tier 2 is good, but maybe not perfect, so you reduce your risk. And a tier 3, you learn to just sit on your hands and wait. This is how you strategically apply your capital only to the best opportunities.
So how do you even build that ranking system? With a journal. The source gives us a fantastic example. This trader thought he was just a bad stock picker, but after he started journaling, the data showed him the truth. His picks were actually good. The real problem was he was panicking and getting out of winning trades way too early. You see, your feelings will lie to you all day long. The data in your journal won't. Now, this is probably the most important rule in your entire system. You have to have a hard stop, a maximum loss number for the day that is absolutely non-negotiable. When you hit that number, you are done. You turn off the screens and walk away. Full stop. No exceptions. This is a career-saving rule. It prevents one bad day from turning into a catastrophic, account-blowing disaster.
And that brings us to our final section. This is about the last pieces of the puzzle that take you from an apprentice to a true professional. It's about getting the right guidance and taking that final leap of faith.
At some point on this journey, you're gonna need guidance, but the purpose of a mentor is crucial. You don't need someone giving you trade alerts. You need someone with real experience who understands the psychological grind. Someone who can just hold you together when you're questioning everything, because only another trader really gets that kind of pain.
And this brings us to the ultimate brutal truth of this whole process. A mentor can guide you, a system can protect you, but that final step, the one that takes you from being pretty good to being elite, that step is all on you. It's an internal battle. It's that moment where you have to find the strength inside yourself to finally truly trust your process, your rules, and your edge completely. So after laying out this entire 26-year roadmap, the only thing that really matters now is the question on this slide. Looking at this whole checklist, from simplification to sizing to the systems to the mindset, what is the very next single step you need to take in your own process?